Hello go-getters of Biotecnika, welcome back again. So this is Caroline Green. I'll be talking about one of the most important, prestigious and very competitive scholarship that you can fetch to pursue your master's or your PhD in Cambridge University, United Kingdom. So I'll be talking in this video about what are the courses that you can apply to, what are the courses that you cannot apply to, what is going to be the eligibility criteria, what are the documents that you will be requiring at the time of application process, and how you can apply. So watch out the video completely so that you don't miss anything at any point of time. So let's get started to the video. So now let's talk about what is this Gates Cambridge Scholarship all about. So this scholarship was established in October 2000 and very specifically this scholarship country is going to be United Kingdom and the university is going to be Cambridge University, one of the most prestigious university we can say. And it's actually funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the courses that you can actually apply through this scholarship is going to be your Masters, MSc, or you can pursue your MS or Masters in Literature or even your PhD also. And the deadline for this scholarship, we can say it's usually going to be 12th of October 2022. Suppose if you are a candidate belonging to the US, and if you are a candidate who are an international students, any apart from UK, if we have to talk about, then you can have the deadline going to be from 2nd December 2022, or it can be 5th of January 2023. These dates are actually variable according to the courses that you actually apply through. So make sure you check in for the deadline that you are actually applying for the specific courses and make sure you apply it within the period of time. And how much is the duration? Suppose if I have to talk about if somebody wants to study their masters, so the duration is going to be for almost 1 to 2 years, and both these 2 years will be funded for you through the Gates Scholarship. And if I have to talk about PhD, the duration is going to be almost 3 to 4 years, and all these 3 to 4 years will be a funded scholarship for you. And very important thing is how many scholarships are going to be available. This Gates Scholarship will be available for 80 candidates, and I'll be talking in detail how many will be for the domestic candidates and how many for the international candidates. So if you are an Indian, we'll be coming under international candidates. So we'll check how many are going to be over there and how much is the application fees going to be for this scholarship. If you want to apply to a very specific master's or PhD, you have to apply through online, and there's an application fee which is almost going to be €75. And there are some exceptional cases, the fees actually varies, but international students, very specifically Indians who are belonging to this, it's going to be definitely €75 for you. So as I have already told you, there are going to be 80 scholarship, or we can say 80 candidates will be given this Gates Cambridge Scholarship. Out of that, 25 are going to be in the US round and remaining are going to be 55. So we fall under this 55 candidates. So this is going to be a very competitive Gates Scholarship, or we can say scholarship to actually avail, and the selection is going to be kind of difficult, or the scrutiny is going to be very, very rigorous, we can say. Outstanding intellectual ability, you need to have your concepts very clear and you need to have a good academic background. That's one of the selection criteria. And the second is going to be why you really wanted to choose this course. Suppose if you want to pursue your MS in genetic engineering or your PhD in biological sciences or oncology, whatever it is, why you are actually choosing this course, that is one of the criteria. And the second is the commitment for improving the lives of others. That's the main purpose of Gates Cambridge Scholarship, because they actually look for the commitment of the person who are actually applying to improve the life of other people. And very specifically, of course, the leadership potential will also be analyzed through this one. So make sure you are having all this criteria fine. And when you're writing the statement of purpose, make sure to include all this criteria in your Gates Cambridge statement of purpose. The next is going to be be the funding or the financial coverages. So how much is the GATE Cambridge scholarship going to cover the cost of studying at the UK, very specifically in the Cambridge University or under the College of Cambridge University, we can say. They're going to provide you additional discretionary fundings also. First, we'll talk about the fundings, the core fundings that we'll be talking. So they're going to provide you university composition fee at the appropriate rate. This might be variable, so according to your fees, they're going to provide you, and they're definitely going to provide you a maintenance allowance if you are going to be a single student. They have given 18,744 euros for almost 12 months at 2022 to 2023, and there is going to be pro rata for courses shorter than 12 months. You can also pursue diploma. So if that's the case, they will give accordingly how much is the months that you will be studying over there. For PhD scholars, the award is for up to 4 years. I already told you it's going to be for 3 to 4 years. So you'll be having your funding full funded for 3 to 4 years. And the next one is the financial assistance for your travel. So one economy single airfare at the beginning as well as the end of the course. So that will also be provided by this GATE Cambridge scholarship. And the visa cost, the inbound visa cost and the cost of immigration health surcharge will also be taken care of by this GATE Cambridge scholarship. And very important, the university composition fees varies for different type of students. It's not going to be the same according to the courses. The fees will be different. So you can check in for how much is the fees definitely for the graduate studies that you are actually applying to. So if you want, you can just check on to the Biotecnika website and it will be redirecting you to the Cambridge scholarship page. The next is going to be discretionary components. What are the other components that they're going to give you? Academic development funding can also be given for you from 500 euros to almost 2000 if based on the length of the courses or the choices of the courses that you are actually doing it, whether to attend a conferences or for the courses, everything. And suppose if you're having a family, if you're married, then you might have a family allowance is also given up to 10,000 euros for one child and 50,000 euros for two or more children can also be given, but they are not going to fund you if you're going to have your partner. That is another criteria. And even field work, you may apply to keep up a normal maintenance allowance, suppose if you are doing a PhD. Otherwise, the lab will actually, or the department that you're working will actually fund all those things. And definitely a maternity and paternity funding can also be given. Suppose if you're women who wish to pursue your PhD and if you need a maternity funding, that would also be provided. You can also apply to intermit your study for almost 6 months. This is one of the important thing or a good news for anybody who are applying a women. Then you can avail this one. The next one is going to be a hardship funding can also be seen very specifically to scholars who are actually facing difficulty. So this is the discretionary components. And suppose if anybody is availing any other fellowship after availing this GATE scholarship, or if you're getting some other salaries, then you have to tell to the GATE Cambridge portal like that you are actually getting it, and accordingly they will decide how much has to be funded for you. If you have availed and receiving some kind of salary or any other substantial other scholarship, if you're availing, then you have to inform them. So the most important thing is what is the eligibility criteria going to be. So the first criteria is going to be you have to be a citizen of any country outside United Kingdom. So if you are an Indian student, then definitely you can go for this one. The next one, you can apply for masters or you can apply for PhD also. Whether it's a full-time or even a part-time PhD can also be possible through GATE Cambridge scholarship. The next one, masters in literature, but it has to be full-time, not part-time, because usually masters will be for almost 1 to 2 years and they'll definitely gonna fund you. Or you can go for 1 year postgraduate course that has to be full-time with some exception. Not all the courses they are talking about. There are some exceptions that you can avail a postgraduate courses for 1 year that you can apply. Next one, suppose if you are a student who are actually a student at Cambridge. Now, if you're going to ask me a question, can I apply? Yes, you can also apply. So I'll be talking this. If you are currently studying at Cambridge and you wish to apply not for the same course, but for a new postgraduate degree. Suppose if you're doing a postgraduate in biochemistry, suppose you want to pursue biomedical engineering, if you are at Cambridge, then you can apply for the new postgraduate course. For example, if you're studying for MPhil, then you can apply for your PhD also. All current Cambridge students will be considered second international rounds. You can go for the second international round. Suppose if you have already started a course, suppose if you are doing your PhD in Cambridge University. first year is done, then you cannot apply for this scholarship. This has to be taken into consideration, because those who are just starting can actually get this scholarship. If you have started already in Cambridge, then you cannot avail this scholarship. So if you want to know about more other general fundings at Cambridge, it is also available in the Cambridge website, where you can go and actually check in over. The next important thing is, what are the courses GATE Cambridge does not consider, and what are the courses that they are going to consider. So let's talk. This is which courses you cannot apply to. This is the most important one. You cannot apply to any of the undergraduate degrees like BA or BA affiliated. Then you cannot apply to business doctorate. Very important. You cannot apply for business doctorate. And the most important, many want to do MBA. But this GATE Cambridge scholarship is definitely not going to fund if anybody is going to take MBA. So this is not the courses that you can apply through GATE Cambridge scholarship. And Masters of Finance, definitely not. And master courses of PGCE or MBB or MD, even MD courses cannot be availed. Graduate course in medicine also, and part-time degree other than PhD. So PhD, you can take this scholarship as a part-time candidate, and many non-degree courses cannot be availed then. Then what are the courses that you can actually apply to? You can apply for your master's or PhD in arts and humanities or biological sciences or physical sciences or technology or biomedical or biolegal, all these things, archaeology, architecture, Indian studies. Lot of courses are available. You can just check in over the Cambridge site and you can actually get to know this. But these courses cannot be applied through GATE Cambridge scholarship. So the next is going to be, what are the requirement documents that you need at the time of application. So the first, definitely you'll be applying it through the website. So you need an online application, definitely. The next is going to be your transcript. Yes, all your transcript from your schooling till now, whatever you're doing, all the transcript should be in English. The next one, statement of purpose. This is very specifically GATE statement of purpose. So why you really wanted this scholarship, and you need to mention all the 4 criteria that I actually mentioned before, like the leadership qualities, or why you want to apply for this one, academic performance, all has to be included in your SOP. The next important thing, you need to have 2 academic referees. So it can be of your professor or the guide that you have worked under, or your project guide, anybody, or your supervisor. So 2 academic references. Along with that, you need to have your GATE Cambridge references also. GATE Cambridge references also you need to have. And if you are a person who are from a non-English speaking country, suppose let's take India, then you need to have either of your IELTS course, IELTS, or your TOEFL score. This is mandatory. If you want to apply for this scholarship, it needs to be kind of more. You need to have almost 7. What are the scores very specifically given for each of the courses? So check in over and then you can start applying. And if you want to apply for PhD, then definitely you need to have your research proposal. Suppose if you want to apply for your master's, then this is actually not needed. Suppose if you're applying only for your PhD, and these are the documents which are really important. So make sure you have all your documents ready at the time of your application. Now the next question is, how do I have to apply? I'll be showing you the website where you can actually go. This is going to be www.gatescambridge.org. And I already told you about the research proposal, which is mandatory for the PhD applicants. So you can actually upload your research proposal during or at the time of admission. There are different criteria. You don't have to contact the supervisor and get admission. You have to apply through the GATE Cambridge scholarship, and after that there would be a round of where you will be going to different laboratories, and you will be working for almost 8 months after your admission. After 8 months of period, then you can select which supervisor you need to work under and which project you need to work under. So it's not going to be a direct contact with your supervisor initially. It's only going to be through the application process, but you have to upload your research proposal, which will be evaluated. So apply through the portal that I'll be talking about. And the most important thing that will actually stand out is mainly going to be your SOP, why you want to apply for this GATE Cambridge scholarship. And the second is definitely going to be your references, all the references, whether it's academic references or GATE Cambridge references and academic preferences, or we can say academic transcript is going to talk very well and make you stand out of the crowd. So make sure when you're applying, make sure you're writing your SOP and your references. This references also have certain criteria. So you can, this GATE Cambridge scholarship will be based on the applicant suitability for the GATE Cambridge scholarship. So make sure they will be checking your intellectual ability and justification why you chose this course, and commitment for improving the life of others, and definitely they're going to check your leadership capacity. So when you're writing your SOP, make sure to include all these things. And they will also, you can also include these things. How highly would you rank the applicant for a GATE Cambridge scholarship? Suppose if you want your professor or your mentor or your supervisor to write a reference for you, he has to write about how he can rank you whether to avail this GATE Cambridge scholarship, how good enough you are to avail this scholarship. The second one, on what overall group are you basing this ranking? Why are you actually giving this rank to the person that you are actually applying for GATE Cambridge scholarship? And what is the size of the group that you are actually talking about? Suppose in your laboratory 25, but out of that he is recommending only 1%. Why he is actually recommending? All these things can be included in the references. And all the referees are asked how they rate the candidate for the scholarship, exceptional or strong or not strong or weak. So if a person gives you exceptional, then there are possibilities that you can definitely get this scholarship also. He can either paste, or he can actually give a 4,000 character and upload it on a separate letter also. Now the question for us is, who can actually write this GATE Cambridge references? I'm talking about, you can avail 2 references from any of the faculties or any of the ones who actually can be. The next is going to be, who can write this GATE Cambridge references? I told you 2 references, academic and GATE Cambridge references. It can be person with authority. So that's most important, and he has to know the criteria and the highly competitive nature of the GATE Cambridge program, because this is going to be very competing. So he need to be having some authority, and he need to understand the criteria and write very well references for you. And you should not ask your friend or family members or someone who doesn't know more about you. That's going to be the criteria. There are some points which you can take into consideration while you're asking your referees to write your references. So it can be like, you can tell them about the selection criteria and you have to explain it clearly. And you can also ask him to write some examples of why are you telling that he is having a leadership quality, all this thing. And you need to ensure that they are understanding the complete criteria properly, and then you can actually ask them to submit the references. So make sure your references, your SOP and your transcript, everything stands out of the crowd if you're going to really do it well, and nobody can stop you from availing this GATE Cambridge scholarship, so that you don't miss an opportunity to study your master's or your PhD. Now let's talk about how to apply, and let's talk that in detail. So this is the portal that you are actually seeing. This is the Cambridge website actually. So you're seeing postgraduate admission. So under this you are actually seeing a course directory here. So you can type, suppose let me make it as a PhD degree if I want to apply. So you can put your master's, like master's in computer science or whatever it is. Suppose if you're biological sciences, you just type in for that. For now, I'm just typing PhD degree. After typing this one, you'll be having all this course directory, and you have a filter also here. So the course level is doctoral or master's or diploma or certificate. All or research or thought or full-time or part-time also is available. For now, I'm selecting PhD, and under this, I'm just selecting biological sciences, Sanger Institute, I'm just selecting. And this is how you actually apply through. So first, before going to apply for this, understand which courses you are applying for it, and there would be an overview of the courses, and then you can see the study. So how is going to be the study? One-to-one supervision, seminars, lectures, and all these things will be given, your dissertation, your thesis. And this is the most important thing. When you're applying for any of the courses, make sure you're checking for the requirements. Very specifically, I told you about the IELTS course. So this is the language requirements. If you are an international candidate, not from the UK, you need to have a specific honors, UK honors equivalent one. And then IELTS score has to be this: listening, writing, reading, speaking. So if you have all this criteria filled, then you can check in for that. Or if you have a TOEFL internet score, then you can check in for this. 25 is given. And they have also talked about the CPE scores, how much you have got. And if you should not apply for ATIS, you can also check in what is ATIS actually. And if you get an offer, then you can apply for this ATIS. If you're applying for PhD in biological sciences in Sanger Institute, I'm just taking one example. And this is going to be the finance actually. I told you the fees will be varying according to the courses. And when you're going in for applying for specific courses, in this page very specifically you'll be seeing the finance. So this is the fees, actually the composition fees I was talking about, and the maintenance fees. So total comes around 25,000 euros. So this program has this much one. And then the next they have talked about how to apply for this one. So they were talking about how is the selection process, and if anybody wants to apply through GATE Cambridge scholarship, this is the most important one. You can literally see over here 2 academic referees. You can just click in over here and you will be redirected, and the transcript and the CV or resume and the evidence of competent in English, which is your IELTS or your TOEFL, and the statement of purpose very specifically, and your proposed research supervisor. This is actually optional. Initially you won't be selecting your research supervisor, and then your research proposal has to be uploaded if you're applying for PhD. This is the most important line. Suppose if you wish to be considered for GATE Cambridge scholarship, you will also need to provide the following. I already told you this is a normal thing that usually you will apply. 2 academic references you will be applying if you're applying directly and if you are paying the fees. Suppose if you want to apply through GATE Cambridge scholarship, you have to provide 2 academic references separately, and this is GATE Cambridge references, where you can literally see. The next one is a research proposal, PhD candidates only. And then you have to mention, as if it is written here, a 4-year PhD program. You don't have to choose a PhD supervisor at the time of application. So you will be working for 8 months undertaking rotational projects in different laboratories, and after that you can decide your supervisor is in this institute they are talking about. So after this, you can literally go and click onto this site, apply now. Suppose if I want to apply for PhD in biological sciences, then you can just click onto this. This is the one. So you have to go in for register and then click onto this and start your registration process. Suppose if you have already registered, log in and do the same process. So enter your email, your password, and then start applying for this one. The most important thing that you have to take into consideration, what are the documents that you need at the time. And when you are going and applying for this, first understand which courses are you applying to, what are the criteria that every course demands, and then you apply through the GATE Cambridge, which is all going to be the same portal, but one area you will be clicking on to, like GATE Cambridge scholarship you will be writing. The rest of the things remain the same. So today I was actually talking about the GATE Cambridge scholarship, which is the most prestigious scholarship in the entire world, very competitive ones. But if you can make a real SOP, a good references and a good academic one, along with all the possible things, along with your IELTS score or TOEFL score, then definitely you can really get this one. So this is a wonderful opportunity that I was talking today. So if you really like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel Biotecnika, and I'm going to meet you back again with yet another wonderful opportunity for you. Thank you, all of you.